Question 8. So this should be review from the Angle Relationships Toolkit. It says match each relationship to a diagram below and give an equation based on the relationship. So I am going to go by the names on the left column first, the relationships, and then I will pick the letter that goes with it. So alternate interiors, alternate interior on alternate sides of the transversal and inside the parallel lines. So we only look at lines that are parallel, so that would be like A, D, E, or F. And we want things that are on opposite sides and inside. So looking, oh, 1 second. Looking here, this is not inside the line, so that's out. And then looking at these are on alternate sides and inside the parallel lines, so that is the answer. So D goes here. And then we need to write an equation. So an example of that would be like A plus B equals 180 or A equals B. So looking back down here, we have F and H, and we know that if lines are parallel, then alternate interior angles are congruent. So we know that F will equal H. And that's it for that. These are pretty simple questions in terms of what you have to write. All right, so I've crossed out D. So corresponding angles, those are angles in the same location at different intersections in parallel lines. So again, B and C are out. A has vertical angles, so that will come up later. Those are across from each other in an intersection. So like actually this line down here doesn't even matter because you have this going on currently. So, and then looking at E, those are both at the bottom left of their intersections, and you have your parallel lines there, meaning the relationship between our corresponding angles, which that's what that was, sorry, is they are equal. If parallel, then corresponding angles are equal. So K equals M. So that one is out. And then I just used A, so we might as well finish that one. Vertical angles are always congruent no matter what, so A equals B. And then the next one, triangle angle sum. So some teachers may have used that terminology. I personally have told my students that angles of a triangle add up to 180, and we haven't used that name. But if you look at the title, look at the name of that, it's easy to decipher that that's what would happen. Sum means adding, and we know the angles of a triangle add to 180, so you wouldn't need to know exactly what that name is to be able to do it. So we definitely need a triangle. So the only triangle is C, and then we know that the angles of a triangle are supposed to add to 180, so A plus B plus C equals 180. So that one is done. And now we have 2 left and only 1 option. So that means one of them isn't going to be used. So looking at complementary angles, that means you get 90 degrees. Personally, my students know that the C can be turned into a 9. So you get 90. So 16 plus 74 is 90. And we're going to call that B. F is straight line or a straight angle, supplementary, but it doesn't get used in this one. All right, number 9. So 9 is where you cross multiply. So we are going to, let's do the easier one first, B. So we're going to cross multiply. So we're going to do 3 times 5, that's this set, equals 2 times x. And remember, you're allowed to also do 2 times x equals 3 times 5. It doesn't matter what order you do that in because you'll still get to the same result. So then 3 times 5 is 15 equals 2x. And then to get x alone, you're going to divide both sides by 2. And you get x equals 15 over 2. You can leave that or write it as the decimal. Just make sure if you are leaving fractions, you're simplifying them. And if you end up using the yellow calculators possibly provided by your teacher, that will simplify it for you. So then A is a little harder because you got x plus 1. So you want to like put parentheses around this because when you're cross multiplying, that 6 has to be multiplied by all the stuff. So it's helpful to put those parentheses there because then you can give the 6 to everything. And I think people forget to do that a lot because I've seen people do things like this where they were like 6 times x plus 1, and then they just do this and they forget the plus 1 has to be multiplied by 6 also. So 6 times x is 6x, and then 6 times 1 is 6, and then equals 3x. So then we're going to get the x's together. So I'm going to take away 6x from both sides because the 3x is already alone. So I'm going to move it over there. I get negative 3x equals 6. And then the last step would be divide both sides by negative 3. This cancels out and x equals negative 2.